Hi everyone, this is Adrian. So today we're going to learn how to make a home server. The disadvantage is that you will have to leave it on so that it remains accessible and you will have a lot of maintenance to do. So that is to say, if our PC broke down, well, we will have to repair it, change components, and also keep the environment up to date. So we'll have a lot of advantages. On the other hand, you can run unlimited workflows on a Newton. You can use Qdrant, Whisper, PostG, Ollama with Nomic. And for my part, as I have an RTX with 12 GB of VRAM, I will even be able to install one LLM locally. So all this info free is really hosted on my bike then. We're really in that part, aren't we? So the left part, home server. So here we go. So for that, we will need two things. We will have to download Debian 12 and VirtualBox. So simply, we will have to go on the internet, type VirtualBox you download, and Debian 12, the same thing you download. Once you have the ISO file and the VirtualBox installer, we will install VirtualBox. So simply, we have the installer. We do as follows. We accept as follows we do. Yes, okay, here we go. We install all this. Nothing is simpler. We start as long as we do. So he created me my little icon, so virtual blow. What does it look like? So it's a virtual machine creator. So simply we're going to make a new virtual machine here. We're going to give a name to our machine. So I'm going to call it N8N. I'm going to choose where it's going to be installed. So there for now I'm going to do something else. What I'm going to do is tell data a new VirtualBox folder so I know where my machines are going once I've chosen the location. So here we're going to choose the ISO. So the ISO. This is the famous image that we downloaded from Debian. So here we are going to do something else. I'm going to go to the desktop and I'm going to go get some. Once it's done, we're going to do Skype because I don't want to have the VirtualBox auto installer. You'll understand why later. And there I'll be able to assign it RAM and processors. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put in the curves with glass. I really don't want to overload my computer, so basically I will give it 24 GB of RAM and 8 CPU on the 16, which is more than enough. We will follow up here. It asks me to create disk space, so don't worry if I put a tera. It won't take your a tera all of a sudden. It will really do segmentation, so that is to say that this is the space that can go to the maximum, but every time we go, you are going to add data. The hard disk is going to grow. It is not going to take up the gigabytes. So in question here, comput 500 hop next ends. Once that's done, we're going to do a right-click configuration. And here, what will interest us is to go to the network part. And here, so you see you have network access mode. You're going to click here. You're going to access by bridge and you're going to choose your network card. You do OK, and then we will start the machine. Except you'll see there, I won't be able to start it. I will have an error. Because I voluntarily remodified my BIOS because virtualization is not activated, but we will come back to that later. Okay, so here we will launch the machine. As you will see, it will not work. There's something where he tells me that hypervision, basically there's something that said here, it's really deactivated in the BIOS, and so it's aborted. So what we're going to do is we're going to meet on my cell phone, and I'm going to make you a video on how to enable virtualization in the BIOS. So small video on how to enable virtualization in the BIOS. So at the start of your computer, when you will have the screen of your motherboard. So it's an Aorus. I will press the sub key. So I access the interface of my BIOS. Here it may be that then the Aorus Aces BIOS, they look damn if I say no nonsense. MSI is also pretty much the same interface. You may be in a simplified interface like this. If this is the case, simply you will press the F2 key on your keyboard to switch to the forward stroke mode. And what we're going to be interested in is going into advanced CPU setting here and there. As you can see, I have SFSVM pardon mode. And what I'm doing is I'm going to activate it. So you see it's labeled on Apple, disable CPU virtualization. So we're going to activate it. I'm going to go right to right, and I'm going to save and exit the configuration. I do yes, my PC will simply restart. And that's it. You have activated, virtualization in the BIOS. So we find ourselves on our computer. We relaunched VirtualBox, and this time we will click on Start, and you will see that it will quietly launch our machine virtually. So this is what will interest us. We will go to Graphicat install and we will proceed to the installation of French Debian. Hop, you see here, it charges quietly. So you choose a name for your machine. You can call it Lift My Work, Let LAN. There it will ask you the password of the super user. Choose a root password, you re-enter the same password there, it will ask you a user. Adrian hop there, the same, a password for this user there, we continue, it will detect the disks. So there we are supposed to find the famous 500 giga super disk. There you do, yes, so the installation continues quietly. There we do no, you do France, there you will choose a server. I like to take for my part the OVH mirror, a question that I change, then download the necessary packages, and there you must not do stupid. We will really install a server. That is to say that from the command line I do not need interface, environment, desktop, everything that is graphic, so I uncheck these two boxes there and I continue really the bare minimum there. You do, yes, you install it on the hard disk and we are almost done with the basic installation of Debian. It's over, the machine will reboot under Debian, and here we are ready to do the first lines of code and the connection. So once our machine is launched, what we're going to do is we're going to connect as root. So you will write root and the password you have chosen. During the installation, so when we are connected, we see that we have a small sharp. So there it is, good, I am well on the road. And what I am going to do is that I am going to do one apt get install SSH to install the SSH service. I do ohop and there we are okay. Install SSOK service to get the local IP address of my server. Run 1 IP space A to see IP address 192.168.1. 63. Launch PuTTY software and enter IP address 1080.1.1068. 1. 63. Open and connect with your user account. And not as root because you don't have the access there. I'm going to do that and that's it. And what I'm going to do now is I'm just going to make sure I connect as root. So you do 1su root and you retype your password and there you are connected as root. Then we will install the sudo her basically for our user account. That is to say that unfortunately on Debian for security reasons, they have disabled the sudo on our user session. So what interests us? We will already do one apt update to update the machine. So don't worry, all the lines of code will be available in a file that will be well shared where you can copy and paste the same command line. We will do one apt install sudo because sudo is not installed by default. There we will make a user mode egg sudo Adrian, so that is the name of your user. So you replace Adrian with your username. Hop, it didn't work. So you do 1su space and you do a user mod age Adrian because I was in home Adrian, so I did not find this command there. Then you will do 1chmod 0440/etccsu of r to give access rights. All you have to do is reboot the machine. So I'm just going to log off. I'm going to take my machine back here. And there you do an init 0 that turns off the machine cleanly and we advance it. And now you will see that I will be able to do more things with my user account. Hop, so we leave him alone. I take back my PuTTY 10.4.201.25038. 1. 63. There I connect with the identity Adrian hop and there normally if I do a sudo apt to the mouth. Update, it will ask me again for my password, which clicks and you see that I can do the order. Thing I could not do before, so I will do it. 1. So you're going to promise to really update all this. There you go. And there, as you can see, we suddenly activated sudo mode for our user account. Now what we're going to do is we're going to strengthen the security of our SSH server. Then we left to secure our SSH server. So simply we will do a sudo nano slash etc slash SSH slash SSHD of the config block to access the configuration file. And this is what will interest us. So here we have the port that we are going to change to 2223. Here we are going to authorize certificates, right here punishment, and there we are going to cross this entire line and you are going to see life my work Qdrant. What I'm going to do is here I'm going to mark /home/ and there you're going to mark your session name. So you choose the name of your key here you let the backy pull and you put /home/ the name of your session here. Then we're going to go down a little lower. So the authentication strainer A, we're going to put yes, that's changed. So here you are going to do an XO input control to save the SSH file. And what we are going to do now is that we are going to do a nano sudo, and there is the name of the key. So for me, it was niche my world, taken from the bottom, and there we put keys with ones. So we are going to lower this window, and there we are going to launch the software called Qdrant. We are going to generate a key, in fact. So what we're going to do is we're going to click on generate, and then we're going to move our mouse until the key is great. So we're going to wait until the end. Here it is magnificent to imagine my key. And what I am going to do is that I am going to copy all this little thing there. I'm going to go to another pad, more. I'm going to paste it so that it puts it on a single line for me. I'm going to do a check, a Control-C, and there I return to my little one, and I just do a right click. It will paste my entire character string O that's done. We do Control-XO input. There we have saved our file. What I'm going to do is I'm going to do an SSH restart hop service. So I have to do a kilo first. So this is the one at the SSH restart service, and there our service is restarted. I'm not going to close this very important window because if I screwed up, I can't reconnect. So that's done. Then here, we're going to click on save private key. We're going to do OK. Here, we're going to call it live my work. I'm going to put this on the desktop, hop. So I have my key, which is here. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back to my PuTTY. I'll do OK. 10.2.4.2.0.1.12.10.68.1.63. The port we had changed, we put 2223. And here in connection, data autologging username, Adrian is in SSH. Here, port.dential privatize does the authentication. We're going to go get our private key. I go back to sessions and there to saved session. What I'm going to do is that I'm going to create something that's going to be called lift my work. I'm going to do save, and there I double click to connect accept, and there you see I'm connected without having entered a password, so it works. So now I can close this window. And what I'm going to do to see if I've beefed up my security, I'm going to act as if I wanted to connect. So 183.163 on port 2223, and there, so I wanted to connect to the Adrian session, and basically he's going to tell me, get out, you don't have a certificate. You see? So this is how we secure our SSH server, and we will now be able to move on.